Hello and welcome to Founders and Funders, powered by the Chennai Angels, where we talk with founders building category leading businesses and the funders who back them. I'm Sivadas. Today, we're joined by the founder of one of India's fastest growing youth travel brands, goSTOPS. Pankaj, it's great to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you, Sivadas. Thank you for having me.
So let's start at the beginning, Pankaj. goSTOPS has become synonymous with vibrant, community driven travel experiences in India. What led you to co found goSTOPS back in 2014? And what travel or market insights made you believe that this was the right space to build in?
So it was a random trip to Europe. One of my ex-colleagues just asked if I would want to join him on a Europe trip because he would go and visit his girlfriend in Europe once every year. And it was just me randomly saying yes to that plan happening. And I had never stayed at hostels before. And this friend of mine just booked us at hostels. So this random saying yes led me to experience hostels for the first time. Otherwise, in my sane mind, I would have never booked a hostel. We experienced a whole range of hostels, and I specifically remember it was a hostel in Salzburg that we walked into. We came into a common area after a day of excursion, and there were these young people socializing in the common area. There were college interns who were making cocktails with Tetra Pak juices, etc. And within 5-10 minutes, I think I knew at least five people around me. They were telling me how they achieved something in their college today. Someone else told me how they had a heartbreak and their girlfriend dumped them today, etc. So within 5 minutes, I knew personal lives of at least three, four people. And that's when Pallavi, my co-founder, instantly told me that, hey, Pankaj, we should have something like this in India. To which I wasn't so sure. And I was like, why, Pallavi? There are so many hotels in India. Why exactly should we open another hotel? She said, you tell me one hotel model where you will be able to socialize like this. And then in 2014 is when we took the jump and we started the hostel. And then, like they say, it's history. The rest is history.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's a great way to spot an opportunity. Uh, so, you've grown significantly as a brand and scaled operations across India. Early on and even today, what were some of the hard challenges you faced in terms of market education, operational complexities, or customer expectations? It would also be great if you can touch upon your own association with Pallavi and how you've kind of how your skills have actually complemented each other.
So there are two challenges that one would face in a country like India, which is if we are to scale rapidly this vision of having hostels in every single city of the country, how do we scale acquisition of manpower at scale at the same pace at which we are expanding hostels and maintain quality? So finding enough people, training them on the SOPs that we have, and while rapidly expanding the team, maintaining a culture of ownership, of being accountable, and a customer first attitude. These are not, I know it's very easy to say that, these are the three values that we stand for. But at a scale, when you have to train 500 people and they should live by these values day in and day out, and that ultimately translates into your CSAT and translates into your customer retention rate, it's a big feat to achieve. So the biggest challenge in scaling this business is how do you acquire manpower at scale, and how do you train, and how do you maintain a culture of customer first? And the second way that we have tried to the challenge is that I think the way that we've tried to solve it is that we are blessed with a clear demographic of our customer, which is Gen Z, and they are 100% digitally native. So we are relying a lot on technology to be able to make sure that we hold the entire organization accountable to them. So the challenge is this. In terms of my relationship with Pallavi, we are a founder couple. Both of us started this together in 2014. And in terms of our skill sets, I come from an engineering background. I spent 8 years of my professional career in telecom infrastructure industry. Whereas Pallavi is a qualitative consumer behavior researcher. She's an economics honors graduate, an MBA, and she's a qualitative consumer behavior researcher, which means she's able to understand qualitative perception of a product or a service or a brand by any particular consumer. So, so I basically support the business in areas of technology, in areas of finance and investor relations, and in areas of uh, sales and growth marketing. Whereas Pallavi looks at everything that is product, operations, HR, and brand. So, yeah, our professional experience, our aspirations sort of match up to the kind of contributions that we make to this business.
Well, I can vouch for that, having seen you grow from your early years. So yes, it's been a great partnership. Now let's move ahead to the funding journey and the role of investors. Now, goSTOPS has had support from several investors, including the Chennai Angels. We've been fortunate enough to find you and kind of invest in you earlier. Can you talk about what you were looking for in an investor when you raised your Series A, and how this partnership has kind of shaped your strategy?
I remember initially when we were pitching for investors, a lot of investors would come and say, "Hey, your business is one of dormitories, and you are able to extract higher efficiency per square feet." Now, obviously, that's true about our business, but somehow we would not gel with such investors who would contain the definition of our business by efficiency per square feet, because efficiency per square feet can be achieved by anyone. It's not really a moat. And that's exactly not what the youth is going after. Because if we were to really do efficiency per square feet, then we would go after several other demographics which value efficiency over community or social vibe or lifestyle choices. So somehow at that time, even though it was not clear to us why we are not liking such investors, but ultimately we went with investors who said, "Hey, your business is building a brand, is building a certain is catering to the aspirations of the youth, is to be able to create a social space where you are able to foster interaction." So which means your success doesn't need to be measured only by revenue per square feet, but also by number of interactions that you're able to foster in that space that you're creating. So that was the first, way of selecting investors as we did. And then in our journey, we had to face COVID. Uh, and we were fortunate to and blessed to be have to have had investors on our cap table who showed us what it looks like to stand by founders and to not get scared of tough circumstances. Hospitality company, when a black swan event like a COVID hits you, would just sort of be very scared, right? But we were blessed to have investors who said, "Hey, uh, this is time to take a pause and let things settle, and let's see what comes out." And then, as sort of COVID faded out, we started opening up in the market and we started making changes, and we saw suddenly there was a silver lining. And so glad that we stayed on, that there was a big silver lining after COVID where youth was leading the demand revival in terms of travel and supply was completely under leverage. So we actually scaled fully through COVID. So that is when we learned that besides the fundamental belief in the qualitative success of the business or qualitative metrics of the business, I think what we also seek are investors who are invested for the long run. Investors who don't get scared by small ups and downs, because that is a part of a business creation journey. So today also, I think in terms of how we choose our investors, is that we look at, are they investing in this because they see a quick return from round one to round two, or are they, or because that can just change at any point of time, or do they genuinely believe that young people in India deserve to be staying in a youthful social hotel, and a category of social hotels needs to be created? Even if today there is demand, not demand, demand will get created as supply gets created. But do they fundamentally believe that young Indians deserve a social hotel brand? So as long as that alignment is there, because that's our vision, I think both of us together will be able to overcome any hurdles, and which there will be many in the journey towards, the ultimate success for this business.